live.
You're live, bud.
We're live now.
Hopefully everyone can hear you.
Somebody in chat will tell us if they can hear us.
I'm sure of it.
Can you see chat from there?
I can see top chat. I can see live chat.
Very cool.
Yep. I see the previous messages so far.
Oh, nice.
So.
Well, we'll consider this the pregame lobby. Just wait for everybody to show up. Everybody could be, 2 people, but we'll wait for all 2 people to show up. So,
well,
yeah.
You got 2 people right now, so we're all here.
I wonder who all's here then. I'm guessing one is my own TV in the living room. Okay. The other one? Does it say? I guess we don't know.
It could be. Well, now it's down to 1.
Okay.
Buddies. Carhol's on.
Hey.
So I'm wondering if the one in the house is actually.
I don't know.
Either.
I can peek in my own window to see if it's working. No, it is not. It's just playing GMM.
Oh.
I was going to tell you that earlier. You can cast around here. You have to be in the house to cast it.
Well, my phone's on the charger, so no, I can't.
Oh, that's fair.
Looking great here, and you can hear Will well.
Yeah, should I slide back farther from you? Microphone test. Run into all these flowers. From this angle, I feel like I'm in a wildlife preserve. Reserve. Sorry, not preserve. A wildlife reserve.
Yep, still good.
Fantastic. All right, well, I'll give it a couple minutes. Since the stream starts at 7, we'll call it 7:03, 7:05, somewhere around there to get started with the actual content. Well, I understand. Sometimes, people get stuck in traffic. You get late. I heard there's a game on that everybody would rather see, so that affects. Hello.
Wow. Here, you hold this for a second.
Okay. We are doing a bit of like the State of the Fleet address today, so we're going to be going through all the cars and talking about how they're all doing. The good news is everything that we're panning across right now runs and drives, so that's excellent. It's a rare sight at Around 10 Ministries to have everything in the front yard just be operational. And I also love these wildflowers. They're really popping off this year. It was all white flowers earlier this year, and just as they started dying off, all the yellow ones came to bloom. It's a really pretty shot. You get the aqua in there with all these cute wildflowers. Adorable.
Don't lie to your viewers. That aqua is struggling.
I didn't say they ran perfectly. I said they run and drive.
Okay, buddy. We'll help you.
Let's see if I... Oh, there we go. There's some better exposure. Look at that.
Yeah, some of these need credit. We got one. Here.
Howdy.
Hi.
Samet Industry CEO.
What's up? Best figurehead you've ever seen.
Say my other phone's inside, so I don't have a time check.
Oh, I got my watch.
Look at you.
7:01.
7:01. All right, we'll give it a couple of minutes.
Oh, I missed
but
in the red chat.
There's already some people in here. There's at least 3 people. Oh, here, if you put in the chat, I'll walk around the other side here real quick. Just want to make sure to give some people an opportunity to get in here. Although, honestly, I'm pretty happy with just 4 viewers. 2-hour window, but is what it is. What all's going on a Monday night for everybody, I guess. So if you're in here and watching, besides watching this, let us know in the chat, what are you doing on this lovely Monday night? I know it's pretty hot out here in Lexington, so if anybody else here is in the Midwest, just living through all this humidity and heat, I feel ya, for sure. I believe it's Samet Ministries. Appreciate it. It's going to be a good time. I know, I think we made the announcement that we're doing this stuff full time. I guess it's probably been 2 weeks now. And in that 2 weeks, instead of getting a bunch of Samet Industry stuff done, I ended up getting a lot of personal stuff done. A couple quick trips and a couple, like appointments and stuff. Just, oh, hello. Just getting some stuff ready now that I have some time for myself.
I don't think you want to go too far from the house because I think you start to get a little blurry.
Oh, because we don't have Wi-Fi? Well, cool. George is out working. I
Good.
guess it's that kind of time of day. It's just so hot outside.
Calling Cauldron to Tucson, almost loaded.
Wow.
Which one's Cauldron?
Cauldron?
Yeah.
The, I wouldn't say the Le Mans or Trump car, but it's the gray one. Is that the intercooler sticking out?
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Too bad we can't put pictures in the chat. That'd be really cool to see.
I think if we do Facebook Live, you might be able to put it in Facebook Live comments. The reason that we haven't been doing Facebook Live is because we really need the watch hours on YouTube. Facebook, if I put a Facebook Live link up, Facebook would promote the heck out of it because Facebook loves promoting their own links. When I look YouTube stuff, then it kind of gets dropped down in search, doesn't show up as much. But we do the YouTube Live because A, it's a really cool format to get a chat with everybody, and B, it helps get us our watch hours. And then any video we record now, I can then save later, edit, and use as content in future, like full-length uploads. But
okay, here's what the people really want to know is you rumored about going full-time. Is this full-time Samet Industries or full-time Festiva? What does it mean for you?
What does it mean?
Yeah.
Good question.
Because I see
So,
a really pretty S10.
Yes, which is not a Festiva. As a matter of fact, right now we've only got view of 2 out of, what, 6 cars? So, all right, so Samet Industries full-time. I would say right now about 75% of that at least is Festiva based. So that's running the Festiva store, that's sourcing new parts, that's being able to maintain and actually increase how much 3D printing we're doing. I've got a lot of designs that are ready to print, ready to test. I just haven't really had the time to get the printers up and going and testing new products. So now I have time for that. That's something that's coming out pretty soon. A lot of new things which you'll see on the page and on the store page if you're not following.
Yeah, if you have any questions or things you want to see, throw that in the chat.
Yeah, would love to hear what sort of stuff you guys are looking for. But we've got new suppliers lined up. We've got new parts coming in pretty soon. So a lot of that's running the store. I'd say that's, at least half of it. Then you got about 25% of it is running the channel. So it'd be more YouTube uploads, a lot more filming and editing, which just, again, it takes a bunch of time. And now that we're doing this full time, I have the time to dedicate to that. And then the last 25% is what I'll call either fleet maintenance or other projects. So Samet Industries, as a local business in Lexington, I would like to offer things like 3D scanning as a service, or 3D modeling as a service, 3D printing as a service, stuff like that. Because it's stuff that I've been learning and I've wanted to learn for a long time as part of my degree. And I think it's a cool thing to be able to offer people, to be able to have things like a 3D scan done for stuff, or be able to offer prototyping services for other cars. There's not a lot of that in Lexington currently, so I think I could kind of be on the forefront of that and off that here. We'll call another big chunk of that last percent fleet maintenance. So we've got, 10 cars here currently, 11, that all constantly need something for the most part. The Maverick, not so much. It's pretty well just, on its own, doing its own thing. Everything else, at some point or other, needs something done. So a lot of these cars are, long-term project cars, most of which are like dailyable, as they are, but still stuff that needs done. And then the last little bit is what I just say is like miscellaneous other stuff. So not just fleet maintenance in general, but some projects that aren't Festivas. Like the Protege wagon is not a Festiva, but it's a project and it'll probably be on the channel soon. The S10s, both of them, of course, those are kind of long-term projects that have a lot of work done to them and a lot of work yet to be done. And I think you're going to see more of that on the channel. And that's kind of what I want to do on this live video today. I want to do, a fleet status update. What cars are we working on, what cars are here, and what's the general idea, what's the general plan for each one, how are they doing. And that kind of leads to how the videos are going to go for those cars, and then the general project videos we're already working on. So there's still a ton of Festiva content that we're working on, as always. The B6C swap, we're going to get back on that. We'll talk about that more when we get over to the garage area. But that's the general idea.
Everyone's really excited about you going full-time. And sounds like our good buddy Robert's waiting on some new tires and a cooling fan motor to get here on his own Festiva. So
nice.
Project galore. Gotta love it.
Everything besides the heat. If it weren't for the humidity, this would be some fantastic project weather right here, right now.
Today's not nearly as bad as it was.
It's getting better, no doubt. And right now we're in the shade. I almost put my sunnies on, but I figured if I'm in the shade, I'll let everybody see my eyes. All right, well, okay, let's do a fleet status then. We'll go ahead and start with the main idea here. So this is my red 90LX. This has been my daily driver for about, I want to say 5 years now, 4 years now since we swapped this. So I bought this one. It's got almost no rust. 90LX being the rarest USDM Festiva. It's got all the LX goodies. It's got, except for AC, whoever optioned this did not option AC, which made it super easy to B6D swap. So this is the one that started all my B6D swapping antics. We did this one basically in less than 2 days in Tommy's garage with no previous prep work, no other guide or anything, just got it done. And then obviously went to do the guide on from there. So it's still stock E-Series, stock suspension, stock interior. It's got a Mazda 626 steering wheel, and it's got some sweet American Racing AR53 wheels on there and 13. That's pretty much the only mods I've done to it, along with the standard Samet industry stuff like the turn signal spacers and obviously the engine swap. But this is by far the fastest B6D swap I have. I don't know why, but this one just runs really, really well and just worked out great. And it's all on stock Festiva engine management, basically exactly the same as you would see if you watched the B6D swap guide on the channel.
Carl's wondering if you've looked up Kia Pride yet.
Yeah, that and the cool factory they're going to build in Tiananmen Square. That was cool. A lot of info on that on Google. Right now it needs tires. I keep forgetting to just, or not forgetting, just not had time to go to the tire shop and have them do tires because they're closed when I'm back home from work. So now that I'm not at work, I can have the tires finally done. I have a sub for it that needs installed. I just have not installed, so time to get that done. It needs cleaned, obviously, because it's been daily just sitting and the paint's getting oxidized again. And I need to put the passenger mirror back on because I hit a traffic cone one day and knocked the mirror off. So I have the replacement mirror, but it's the wrong color. I bought the paint to paint it and then just never got around to it. So that's really all it needs. Otherwise, it's just a great, reliable daily driver. And this, I guess a lot of people on the channel may or may not know about. This is my S10. I've actually been into S10s for longer than I bought Festivas, or longer than I've been into Festivas. This is 50% of my first car ever. So my dad actually swapped this back in 1997. I was 8 months old. Did an LT1 swap from 1994 Corvette. So this is all Corvette engine. We maintain four-wheel drive, so it's still 4x4, manually engaged. It was my first truck when I turned 15. My dad basically said, if you fix it, you can have it. So that was my daily driver. I was driving like 100 miles a day in central Illinois, getting 12 miles per gallon at best. And so doing that for 2 or 3 years is what prompted me actually to get my first Festiva, just because I needed something to save money on gas because this took so much of it. Illinois salt finally took its toll and it rotted away into nothingness. So 2 years ago, I bought this clean shell down south. And then Dad and I spent basically all of fall 2020 and spring 23 getting everything swapped over to the new body. So, and this is it. I just did a ton of work on it in preparation for the Hot Rod Power Tour, which was last week. So it's a big trip where like 6,000 hot rods all drive together between 5 different cities, stopping at like racetracks and stuff to be like basically a huge car show. So it's lowered. It's got some 18-inch medium Migio wheels on it, side exit exhaust, and we repainted it in 3 days, basically sanded the whole truck down to nothing. This is the first time I ever painted a car with a spray gun, so not bad. I'm sure on YouTube, the compression, it looks perfect. It is a good 10-footer. I'm pretty impressed with how well it turned out, but there you go. There's a swap.
Are you going to have a nice long haul video?
Yeah, so I did film most of the power tour. It won't be a super long video because like I was so busy walking around, it was kind of hard to film as well. My first time doing it, so I wasn't sure how the layout would be or how everything worked. So now that I know, next year's video will be even better, and I'm sure you'll see more of the content of the truck on the channel now. But there it is, and it's running and driving just fine. It's got some small changes I still want to make to it, some things here and there, but for the most part, it's good to go. I've been dailying this the past 2 days just because I like it. It's fun, despite the heat.
George is cracking me up. He said, non-Festiva related content wasn't Festiva adjacent. This is your last warning.
But you better close his ears then, because we got one more Festiva and a lot of other things that aren't. Actually, here, let's switch for a second. You talk about the Aqua. What's going on with the Aqua?
I didn't know I had to be. physically camera ready. What's up? What can I tell you about the Aqua? The Aqua is beautiful, and it's the best lawn ornament I have. We put a lot of time and energy into like doing some nice customization stuff, and I'd love to show you some of it, but some of it's kind of locked. This was actually my second Festiva. My first one, Blackberry, rest her soul, was a dark KJ blue, I believe. And then I found this one and loved it, and I can't have two. Will has a million. So this one has a habit of eating B60s. I don't know why, but they're delicious. So we put one in. It, I think it like completely threw a piston. Like it actually cut a hole through the block. We put a new one in, and then it like lost compression, was eating itself. And then we put this new one in. I think we're on the third B60 now. This third one, something's up with the distributor. Something's not quite right.
And it just keeps leaking oil, despite having all new OEM seals all the way around.
Something's
Just
not
keeps
right.
pushing past them. So
last time this actually went to a meet was Mountain Stiva, which was last year in August. It did not like the mountains. The leaking oil, it was bad. So it did not like the mountains. We cleaned out the stuff from August. We didn't clean that stuff out until literally a month ago when we thought maybe it'll make it to Ohio. And then our good buddy Steven drove it around, you know, giving a good shakedown. And after that, I was just like, let's just not. So unfortunately, it hasn't been to a meet yet, but maybe this Harvestiva we can make it happen. It's got a pretty sick decal on the side. That is Era Correct, but not a reproduction of car. And it's got even better wheels that were shipped from Japan. Turns out I'm really picky about my wheels. The only problem is the only way to keep them clean is to not drive it. So that's why these are actually still clean. But yeah, it's a great little car. The only thing I did for Ohio Siva prep was I did a little shift boot to match the rest of my interior. But
look at those sweet door cards, dude. So Michelle stitched those all herself. This is all hand/machine, I guess sewing machine stitched. But she did all the work to make these ABS door cards, all black everything. Power windows, heck yeah. This thing has ice cold AC, leather steering wheel, matching shift boot and shift knob, all handmade. MX6 seats with a bunch of bolster. Very nice. So David said, what do your neighbors think about the herd?
that's a great question. Most of the neighbors think.
And George said, say it loud enough so they can hear it.
Oh, most of the neighbors think it's cool. We haven't gotten a ton
I think
of
the phrase we
complaints.
get the most often is cute.
Yeah, they think they're super cute. We can very easily tell people like, oh yeah, we live close by. Like we're that house with all the cute little cars. And they're like, oh yeah, on Clay's Mill. So like we get recognized pretty often just because we always have some kind of lineup here in the front. But when we first moved here, about a year in, we were parking the cars just like we are now, but we didn't have this nice cement that starts right here. And so half of the car would be in this grass and the other half would be in the cement.
This was grass.
Yeah, this whole section was
So
grass.
we parked just like this. So the front tires would be on the driveway. Back tires would be either on the small section of pavers or just in the grass.
Yeah, so they had put pavers in here, the previous owners, as like a turnaround because our street's pretty busy in case you haven't heard all the road noise. So they had pavers back there for a turnaround. We used it as parking and then kind of extended that to like having 4 cars. And then a neighbor was upset. So they tried to say we were like running a repair shop out of our house and called the city on us. That city guy then would not get off of our backs. And at one point came to the house while we were all doing whatever and literally ran the plates of every single car at our house that they could visibly see. And like at the time I had my good friend helping me with like an indoor project. We had Steven living with us, so his car was here. We had the kid's car that was here because he was to and from college. Like, it was insane. I was like, so you're telling me I can't have friends and family over? Like, so he
So
said,
we showed them and we paid as much of our yard as we legally could.
yeah, and he said ultimately it's all about the optics. So if you have all running or at least registered cars sitting out here, then They can't do anything about it. If you're not having them sitting on jack stands for forever, they can't do anything. They did, however, tell me that if they can see it, they can tow it. And so they even try to tell me that if it goes past that fence line, if they can see something that's not legally titled or whatever. So just imagine if they saw that frame back there. If they can see it, they can tow it. So that's why we added those like vinyls that go through.
A little DIY privacy fence.
Yeah, just a little bit through the fencing because you just never know.
Yes, now we've paved, Lexington law is 50% of your lawn must be lawn, and that counts like sidewalk and driveway.
Yeah.
So because the sidewalks were already here, we paved as much extra as we legally could to make my own parking lot. So now my neighbors have to look at my cars because they're legal.
Yeah, sucks for them. I mean, they're all legal now, so that's another reason why I'm thinking about, like, we don't drive most of these cars like every day. Like, Will's been driving the S10 a lot. He hasn't driven the LX a lot since quitting his full-time job, and I drive the Maverick a lot. Heck, I need to get out in my RX-8. But all of these older cars, we need to get antique plates on because at least here in Kentucky, it's a one-time registration for an antique plate. And so I don't have to worry about the dates running out. Like, this is my birthday month, so all the dates are running out. So I'm gonna try to get as many of them on antique plates as possible because we don't drive them like all the time.
George says he gets asked if this is his house all the time.
Oh, really? I bet. Yeah. Be like, no, but I know those people. They're the coolest.
All right, we'll on the subject of RX-8 then.
Yeah. Oh, so me again. So RX-8. Don't look at it too close. Again, another 10-footer. She used to be a beaut. She used to be the best thing, and the paint has kind of...
See if the color shows up on camera. It's a really cool blue with green metallic flake in it.
So I think I talked a lot about this in our first podcast episode. Second one to be coming. Will need to finish some editing there, but I talked a lot about it because the RX-8 was actually my dream car. I thought it was just the prettiest thing. Like, look at those curves. Hello. And this color in particular.
Ryle said hard to believe if Festive is antique.
Right? I mean, it's 30 years old. It's as old as me. But yeah, so this was my dream car. If you want to know a little bit more, I highly recommend you watch that podcast because I'm sure the next one should be coming out in about a week or two. It freaking better be.
David wants to know when you're all swapping it.
Never. Okay. So it actually just recently got a rebuild. I'd say within the last 2 years, maybe. It actually, what prompted us...
Isn't that all RX-8s?
It prompted us to do the rebuild when the guy was on our butt from the city saying we needed to move the cars. At that time, we had 4 cars in the lineup, and the only one that didn't move under its own power was the RX-8 because it was toast. So,
and actually not due to low compression.
Yeah.
It did not lose compression from a apex seal. It actually shattered an apex seal out of nowhere, like just out of nowhere, cracked, and then sent the chunks of the seal all the way around the housing.
Yeah, so that rebuild turned expensive very quickly because then I suddenly needed 2 new rotor housings and another actual rotor. So, but those now sit on my mantle, which is really cool. So no, never LS swapping it. This will always be a Dorito.
The only thing I think on the docket for this car is paint and a spoiler. We have
a spoiler.
We have an OEM spoiler for it.
I forgot we got that.
And you guys can probably see from this angle, but there's some clear coat damage. Beyond that, it just works. It's got some Series 2 wheels that we painted ourselves. JDM clear indicators. It's got an oil change. It mostly just works. It eats batteries, but most RX-8s do. So it's what it is.
It's good.
Well, do that. You're up again because the Maverick is totally yours.
Technically, the Maverick is legally yours.
I'm gonna go to the other side so I can get the full thing in frame.
For all intents and purposes, the Maverick is legally yours. So the Maverick was purchased as a, I don't know what to say. The Maverick was only allowed to be purchased because it's the one new car Will would be willing to buy. So I wanted something a little newer, a little nicer, something that's not going to leave me stranded. Because we had previously had a couple of Troopers, and the first one was nice, but we sold it for this big trip we went on. And then we got another one that literally threw the crank pull while I was driving home from work. So that wasn't great. So after that, I really got just about sick of it. And I said, I need something good, reliable, that can seat my nice dog. So we ended up buying this Maverick new. We got it still less than a year ago. It'll be a full year in August. The one consolation was I happily let Will choose the color, and he chose cyber orange, which, because I work at a school, only looks like a school bus to me. So that's the only thing I don't love. I don't love having a car payment, but otherwise, literally.
But it is a hybrid, so we're getting 40 plus miles per gallon, which is pretty sweet.
It's really good.
And it gets 25 miles per gallon towing a Festiva on a dolly.
Yeah.
So to be able to tow a Festiva anywhere we want and get 25 mpg is pretty sweet. For those people that know Mavericks or are interested in Mavericks, it's a 2023 hybrid Lariat with luxury package, blackout package, and we got these sweet wheels for it. So these are 18-inch BBS Monaco from a Jaguar Type S, rare dealer option for 2 years. Camera doesn't really show it, but they are just barely rose gold.
They're very cute.
And actually, I said it's not really a project car, but we do have a lowering spring kit for it that I need to install probably this week.
I might actually create a new rule about that though, because I did tell William that these wheels would come back off if he didn't fix my tire pressure gauges. So until that happens, it might not need to be lowered.
You just gotta go somewhere that can debeat them.
Yeah.
It's annoying. I can't debeat 18s at home.
So yeah, there you go. There's the Maverick. The Maverick's pretty great.
All right, and now we have the Sonoma. I keep saying S10, but this is technically a GMC Sonoma. So this is 2.5 Iron Duke 4-speed. Supposed to be a 5-speed, but somebody blew it up and put a 4-speed in it. Yeah, I'll hand this back to you if you want.
For a very long time, this was actually our only truck.
That worked.
Like the S10 didn't work, and we didn't own the Maverick, so this was our only truck.
But yeah, it came up on Marketplace in Tennessee, and it's a beautiful aqua color, and it's very close to Festiva Aqua, and it came with these beautiful white steelies. So we have 2 aquas with white wheels. It just matched. It was so good. And then I bought clear taillights for it all around because clears belong on blue cars, despite what anybody else may think. And it's just been a nice little reliable driver. I don't really plan on doing much to it. I don't think we're gonna lower it or mess with it. Yesterday we got the AC working with Steven's help, so now it's even got AC, so it's a fantastic little driver. But that's just about it. It's just a pretty stock. This is the factory color too. It was repainted once in the late 90s, but that's because this color and the whites they used back then, this peel right off with the wind. They did not stick well to the primer back then, this color and the white. So somebody had it repainted to fix that issue. But this is the stock color. It's all under the firewall and stuff. It's pretty cool. Rarely optioned.
Yeah, it was really tough when Will told me that, hey, like I came home one day and he was like, hey, we need to buy this truck. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like I was saving for this trip. Like I was not about to spend money on something. And he showed it to me and I was like, ugh, heck, we have to get it.
Yeah. And it's been really nice. I have a 5-speed for it and he's put in.
Heck, we took it.
I think that's all it needs.
We took it to Texas last February.
Yeah.
Maybe the February before, and like we got constant comments about it. So many people offering to buy it. How much? Like every gas station stop. It was kind of crazy.
It's just a really clean, really good little truck.
Aqua is the best color, 100%. A lot of shade being thrown at the RX-8. Some saying this should be your second paint job. Not sure he's quite qualified for that. But also realizing it's almost an antique. How dare you point that out?
Until recently, it was the newest vehicle we owned. So hers is an 06 Phantom Blue automatic. So that was the newest car we had, with 06.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully, if you're watching this,
carbureted or TBI?
that one.
Check out that sick license. Came with the truck, so so good. It doesn't get clean, but you can barely tell.
Gotta do it for Dale, man.
Do it for Dale.
Hopefully, those of you who've been on the channel before recognize this one already. So this is probably our most recent video. This is the yellow LX that we got down in Mississippi. Since that video, I didn't really film much on it, but we did just do a ton of work to it to prep it for Ohio Steva, which we made it to, and I'll have a video about that soon. However,
it's really tough when you have like a crunch time project, but then it would make great content. Like, do you want it to get done in time for the meet, or do you want to record it? It's a tricky.
But since you guys last saw it, the interior got completely taken out, scrubbed, and reinstalled. It's got new wheels and tires. I painted the bumpers, completely redid the engine bay, all new paint, welded up some holes that some previous owner had cut into it for crank access. It has working power steering, working AC, and then on the way back, the tank was full of mud. I didn't realize it, and we clogged all the injectors. So now it's currently down for a gas tank swap and injector swap. Gas tank's done. There's the old tank. New one's in with a new Festiva store sending unit.
Gross. Like, you can't really see
But
in there.
if you go try to pan wide, you can see the sweet three spoke these jerks right here, boys. Check out these beautiful Hot Wheels wheels, man. So cool. And obviously it's all polished and looking fantastic. And yeah, that was in the video. I think the video ended with us polishing it. And it's also manual swapped it while we're at it, so now it's, you know, good old 5-speed, still B3, AC, power steering. There's our super clean engine bay after getting everything repainted and everything added in. I went ahead and did a color match valve cover, just spiced it up a little bit.
Ooh.
So yeah, injectors just came in this morning actually, so we'll be doing the injector swap here henceforth.
Were you going to point out your new 3 spokes?
Maybe. I mean, it looks the same, but different spec. And then over here, under the car cover, is the Protege wagon. So it's a 2003 Mazda Protege 5 in white. I'm telling you that because you can't see it. If I edit this later into an actual thing, I'll put a picture up or something. But it's under the cover because we did a ton of work trying to get it down to Mazda's at the Dragon last fall, and had some issues with the ECU and overcharging. And then shortly after that, the new engine I just put in it started knocking already. So this time it's going to get rebuilt professionally instead of me trying to hack together a junkyard engine. But it's KL swapped, so that's the awesome V6 that Mazda developed back in the 90s. So it's a 2.5 liter V6, natural red line of 7,500 RPM, dual overhead cam. It just sounds incredible, like 170 something odd horsepower, 5-speed manual. That's basically all I've done to it. Just that and wheels. It's got Mazda 6 17s and a big brake kit. It's got Mazda 6 speed brakes, which are massive. I don't know, probably can't see the rotors through there, but it has 320 millimeter rotors. That's almost 12 inches. The rotor is as big as a Festiva wheel. It's maddening. But I scored the kit cheap at the junkyard, so on it went.
So if you haven't figured it out, Will's main source of completing projects is car meets. So if you're not one to go to different car meets, highly recommend it. Like, what's a better motivator?
It's a great
than,
motivator.
like, seeing cool people and other cool cars and wanting to show off yours too.
Completely painted the truck the night before the trip to Power Tour, just because I wanted to look good on the Power Tour. So
yeah,
worked out great. But now we can try to walk around all this crap that not cleaning up. That's the other issue. If anybody saw my post on the group the other day, I've hoarded too much garbage and I'm out of space. So I've been trying to clear up some space. It probably does not look like it, but I'm trying.
What? Another yellow? Am I seeing double? How'd you go from owning 0 yellows to owning, like, I don't know, 3? 4,
How?
like,
Mississippi. I mean, that's all there is to it. They both, weirdly enough, came from Mississippi, both covered in the same mud, but both generally rust-free. So weird how that works out. Some of you may have noticed the lack of a third yellow, as you could see in a lot of photos I posted a couple months ago, and that's because it's gone. We completely parted that thing down to the bones and took the shell to Ohio. I'll have a lot of pictures and videos about that adventure, but that's going to be a whole guide all about taking Festiva from complete to a bare shell, disassembling everything top to bottom. That way, if you guys ever want to see, like, how do I take out the window, for example, I will have like a 5-hour video probably with tons of chapters. You can just like find the chapter that says door and then watch how to take out the window. Or for the watch hours, you can watch the whole thing and just learn how to take apart a Festiva. But since we already have the engine removal video, like, you know, from years ago, I thought it'd be cool to go ahead and continue to just remove everything. So we're stripping that whole shell down, and I recorded the whole thing. It's gonna take me forever to edit it, but it is coming out. I would say probably next month. So look out for that one. It's gonna be really cool, and I'm sure super helpful for a ton of you. This one, on the other hand, is the one you've been seeing on the B6T swap guide. So this is the one that's getting the B6T. The donor car, or the half of donor car is right on the other side there. So we just finished the core sport video a little while ago. That's the one I lost a ton of audio on, so I need to finish editing it. I have to redo the audio and voiceover. It's gonna be weird because I don't remember what I said, so I just gotta try to make it up as I go. But the core sport's now done. It's ready to go. The next step is now parting out this Capri. That way we have the engine, and you guys can see exactly what needs pulled from this to go into this.
Is it even a Capri if it's half a Capri?
What makes a Capri a Capri?
I don't know.
For scavengers, it's just the B6T. So yes, and there's a badge there, the Mercury badge.
That should still count.
It's got the weird curved windshield and the, yes. And it's hard to see. I just opened up those ITBs today, covered this thing in crap. Again, everything's covered in crap. A lot of stuff's been going on.
So theoretically, cutting the Capri in half, why?
Saved the room.
So much
And I also
space
need,
for activities?
so we need to film things like how to take out the ECU. The ECU is here. So you can imagine with the seat, the back seat, and the door half in the way, it's kind of hard to get in here and film that sort of thing. Now, you can see, as you're standing there, how easy it is to film me going in here and tickling this ECU. So it's going to make it way easier to film. And it takes up way less space. And it was just kind of fun. There's nothing like watching Steven hold the Sawzall and just cut a car in half. And Capris are just so easy to cut in half. Once the doors are out of the way, it's just the floor. That's all that's left. Once the door's open, it's just this.
Just little.
So,
right?
just one quick cut.
Everything's right.
And it made some money. I was able to scrap the back half just on its own and recoup some of that. So that's great. So these two will be back on the channel soon in the full-length film.
Wow, is that sticker original? That's really well done.
Original? No, it's just a really, really good reproduction that is available right now on festivastore.com.
Wow.
We have both factory colors and all factory trims available right now. Or just the Festiva logo, in case you want to stick it on like your laptop or your refrigerator or the back of your cat, whatever. And then,
that was cool. I would say like watching Netflix and I'd like lie and say it was like HBO or LX, but
well, it's not gonna get any LX bits.
don't let me do any frauding for you.
Well, you would know. I would know. And because of the mess I've been making, we probably can't walk much further than this, but JDM Siva V2 is still here, still in waiting. It's gonna keep waiting for a while because I got so many other projects in the way and I wanna make sure this one's done just right. But now that we're doing this, we'll probably get my V2 explanation video done shortly, talking about the JDM Siva story and what got me into Festivas. Somebody even asked earlier in the chat what got me into Festivas. And like I mentioned, the step one was just saving gas money on the S10. And then shortly after that, it was falling in love with the forums and the community of people. And then reading hours and hours and hours of forum content every day, at the point that I memorized everything I could about a Festiva. And then buying the service manual and reading that cover to cover and memorizing most of that. And then making JDM Siva happen. And now V2 happen. And now soon, the world's greatest B6T swap. Allegedly. A lot going into that one though. And it's a very long-term project. So it will continue to chill on these jack stands until I get a couple other projects knocked out. But I will make a longer form video about this one. I actually started one. I had a good 25-minute monologue to the camera when my phone died and did not save it. Or no, it's filmed 5 minutes worth and then said card full and then just stopped. So I was really upset about that and just kind of gave up filming that one. But I'll be back at it and we will film that one.
Someone asked if that's an MX6 engine or a JDM 2.5.
That is an MX6, so that's a KLDE, not a KLZE.
So is that your replacement for the Protege?
Yes, the Protege, so I bought it with the FSDE and it blew up because that's what FSDEs do. We put a KL in it, that lasted like a year, and then that one blew up. But I bought that whole MX6 for $400, so like it was all untested and whatnot. We got a free KL, another junkyard KL for free from a buddy in the forums, Steven's friend. I think Tony, he might still be around. So we cleaned that one up and put it in, and it lasted all of 500 miles. But again, untested, never verified or anything. So this time around, since it's not locked up, it's just knocking a bit. We're gonna send that one over to the machine shop. They're gonna bore it out. I've got 50 oversized pistons for it, so it's getting bored out properly, honed, new pistons, new rings, and then rebuilt better.
So, does anybody have a count for me on how many cars you just saw?
There's 6 on that side of the fence, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half.
10.5. Plus, there's one missing. Do you know which one of your cars is missing? Do you know where your children are?
I know where 2 more are, as a matter of fact.
2 more?
Yes. So the green winter car, which is for sale, somebody should buy that. It's really nice. Steven's borrowing that currently. We call it the taxi because every time a friend needs a car, we're like, oh yeah, that one just works and it's insured. Go take it. So Steven's taking it right now, so it's not here. And then my rally car, which despite objections from other people in the room, is my car, and it's at Tom's house where it belongs because it's a rally car. But the Surf one, which you'll see in my Ohio City video coming out soon during our big rally, so I built that as a rally car. So it's an L Plus automatic with severe beam rot. So I saved all the good parts of it. It's got big protractor mud tires on it, aftermarket tack, some really nice aftermarket headlights for night rallies. And it's just, again, I made it really reliable. It just works. It's a perfect rally car. You get in, slam it in first, and just send it all day.
So are you telling me and the world you have 12.5 cars?
Yes, but one's for sale. And that half one's not going back on the road, so.
You could try. We thought about just like putting a dolly at the back and just like getting it running.
I'm still considering it.
I think that'd be pretty sick.
So I've seen a fuel pump like in a bucket. I still want to make a fuel pump. I have the parts. I bought actually equipment to make
help with that, come over.
a fuel pump in a bucket.
Sounds super fun. So if you have 12.5 cars.
Hang on, I don't think you're allowed to ask Q's in the Q&A.
Oh,
That's their job.
Yeah, any other questions from the chat? Let's see.
Please save me from the grilling I'm going to get.
Fantastic is glad you're using the whole Buffalo. Car hole is just making me laugh. The front fell off. I know, it's hilarious.
Well, the whole front fell off.
Hope he tows it out of the environment. Not sure what that one was in reference to. I think it was something about the Capri.
No, it's about the front falling off.
Oh, yeah. Crankshaft and rods are the foundation of a good engine. You're so right. You're so right. And all good Festivas come from Terre Haute. Dude, I wish. From my records, all good Festivas come from Missouri and Mississippi. V2
so true.
And Aqua are both from Missouri, and these two nice yellows are from
Mississippi.
From Mississippi,
or Montana. Maybe it's just safe to start M, because Frito, I think, was a Montana car.
It's got to come from N.
M. Maybe not Maine.
Dragon Healer says 12.5 rookie numbers. At the same time, 12.5 is rookie. Come on. That's a lot.
12.5 feels low. 12.5 while in the city
feels like
suddenly
a lot.
Feels high.
Yeah.
When you have one lane access to your garage and it's blocked by 4 non-running cars, suddenly it feels like a lot.
Yeah.
I have admitted that I have a problem. I have too much stuff here. I don't say cars, but there's too much stuff. So I am trying to get rid of some stuff. I probably don't need 14 rusty Festiva Steelies.
Good buddy George says, I've owned 3 excellent condition Montana Festivas.
Yeah, exactly. States with M.
It's got to start with an M. That's what we've learned today. Dantastic asks, does it count? Does it have to have a title to count?
I plead the fifth.
So actually, funny story about the title is we have had a lot of cars without titles. One in particular is that amazing S10 that Will just worked on. So that car came to us titleless because the guy had, his father had passed and he didn't know where the title was. So we got it for cheap.
And my original S10, the red one that rusted away, has a rebuilt title.
Right.
So either the options were to try to get Kentucky insurance on a rebuilt title, which is a pain, and that's also still a VIN swap. So we're VIN swapping an already rebuilt title onto the wrong frame. Or try to get a title for a missing one. I chose the missing one because somehow that's actually easier, despite having a title for the other truck.
Yeah, so I'm not going to say how we did it. I'm sure it's super legal, but funny enough, Will's S10 is not legally his S10. So
Yet.
he needs to rectify that.
Soon.
with the state of Kentucky. But in order to get him a title for the 88 S10, we had to do some interesting finessing, and one of those things being it's not in Will's name at the moment. So,
But it now has there is a
are
clean
we counting
title.
the red S10 as one of your 12 and a half, William? Because it's still around.
No, I mean, if I count cars that like definitely will never run again, it would be 14 because I have a shell stuck in my father-in-law's yard and a red shell in my father's yard.
And you know what?
However, that red shell has a home. He might not want to admit it, but it has a home. It just needs to put over there.
Yeah, and I think the green car at Rex's he's used more pieces out of it than we have.
And I heard we're actually taking ownership of another one. So.
Huh? Excuse me, what?
I heard after the parts are used where needed, we're getting the white one.
Oh, yeah, possibly, yeah. Yeah, or just parting it out for him, yeah. Yep. So, I don't know. The 12 and a half, is it a real number? That's why when people ask me, we don't really count.
Yeah, once you get over a certain number of cars, and especially when you get over a certain number at a certain number of properties, it just kind of becomes, I got a lot of cars. Keeping exact track, it starts to matter less.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point?
Also, insurance only lets us insure 6 at a time. So it really doesn't benefit me to have more than 6 running at once, honestly.
So true, so true. Honestly, it's a problem when you have more than 6, because, like, which ones do you register? Like, which ones do you
Every day you gotta walk out and pick which ones to drive today.
I know,
It's
sometimes we
actually
let
kind of
Maverick
fun.
out into the front yard, and we're like, okay, pick one. He normally, or at least at that time, we had a lot of white V6s running, and so it was kind of like, which one does he gonna pick today? Total investment still less than a fancy new car, so you're all good. That's totally true.
Oh, until we bought a fancy new car.
It's fine. So my question was, if you have 12 and a half cars just at your house, how many freestanding engines do you have?
We are nearing 20 engines.
You're joking.
It could be more than that.
20?
What do you consider
There's
freestanding?
no way there's 20.
What do you consider freestanding?
Engines that are not in vehicles.
It's engines that are not in engine bays.
Yes.
Do they have to be my engines?
Do you have other people's engines here? Whose is that?
That's Adam's.
Adam's is still here?
It's right there.
I thought he took that home.
He was supposed to.
Adam, take your engine home, okay?
Or do you want to count engines?
I think we're going to have to, because I don't believe 20. 20 is way too high.
Okay.
Like, if there's 20, we're gonna have a flash sale,
Whoops.
and the viewers get 50% off.
Well, you don't have to walk all the way over here. It's kind of treacherous, but I'll start in the corner over there. There's V1's engine.
One?
OG. Then
Well, V1's is the prettiest one, so.
no.
No?
V1's engine.
V1 one. V1 on the ground, hidden. So we've got one. We've got the one going into V2.
That's 2.
So that's 2 in this side.
That's 3.
3? Like, I don't even notice them anymore. Like, did I see this? No, I just didn't even see it.
Okay, so there's 3.
3. We're not counting Adam's. It's not yours, and it needs to go home.
Okay.
Someone call Adam. Get him on the line.
3.
So we're
4,
at 3.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14.
Oh my god.
15. Does it have to have a head?
No.
16.
Well, let's say 15 and a half, I guess. If we're doing half cars, we can do half engines.
16 and a half, 17 and a half, 18 and a half.
I knew this was a bad idea, guys.
19 and a half. 20 and a half, 21 and a half.
Ew.
There's some in the shed. I don't know if there's... So was that 24 and a half or 25 and a half?
Did somebody keep count?
Okay, that was 21. So 21 and a half.
This is a problem, don't you think? Like, this
Does that count?
That does not count. That's an FA50. That's my problem.
That's on record now.
Can you believe we still have your space for our puppy dog? Meanwhile, it's literally over 50. Honestly, I've never counted before. I think it's a lot more than I expected.
22 and a half, 23 and a half, 24 and a half. And the cylinder head, that makes it one complete. So 25.
25. And you think this is normal human behavior?
I think I'm looking to get a couple more. So at this rate, the Aqua eats one every year or every other year, and I plan on having that till I die. That's at least 50 more years. So looks like we have just enough for the Aqua till I die, and that doesn't count the other cars are swapped that could blow up. So it sounds like we need a few more. And that way, when somebody's like, "Hey, I would like to buy a B6D. Do you have one?" I can say, "Well, yes, I could sell one."
Yeah. So
Last time I did that, I think somebody told me not to sell anymore. I think my wife.
Over 20.
Oh, so that's the differentiator for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that we have a real count.
Only a few of those.
Honestly shocked.
Some of these are like at least 3 of the ones in the garage are locked up, and I think the 2 by the porch are pretty locked up. So it's like 5 that are fairly well locked up, but still have good parts. Like the turbo is worth a good bit. The intake to convert Miata engines is a good idea to keep. Once you start taking them apart, they take up more space. I found that to be the case for most things. Festivas, the best way to store Festiva parts is assembled correctly in the Festiva. Once you take a whole Festiva apart, it actually doesn't fit back in the car loosely. Even though you see all this air in there, you see all this airspace, it doesn't actually all fit back unless you put it back where it goes. If I were to take the intake and the flywheel and the pistons and the cams and the exhaust manifold from a B6T and try to store that somewhere, it takes up more space in the tote than it just takes with the whole engine. So it's best just to keep the whole thing. Despite like that one's sat outside and that one's sat outside a long time. Those are both probably dead as an engine, but full of great parts.
Andrew says there's a Capri in Lane's garage you need to get.
I have heard this. I heard there's a Capri in Beattyville we should get too.
Chase.
I heard Merlin's gonna come buy some Capri taillights from me.
Merlin needs to buy a lot more than that. Come on over, guys. We're having a flash sale. Who wants an engine?
Well, that's what I said. I said, come get some big stuff out of my yard. And that includes me ending up, I'm not going to sit on that. If that includes me selling an engine or two, then so be it.
Sure.
But I do need the space. It started to drive me a little crazy having to step around stuff. I have too much stuff. I'll admit it. It's like it's useful stuff, but
You heard it today, folks.
too much stuff nonetheless.
Somebody definitely clip that right now. I may have missed another question. I can't remember. Oh, parts. New parts for the store. What are we anticipating? What are we looking forward to?
What are we looking forward to? Okay. Let me grab one.
Let me grab one. We're pretty good.
So a lot of stuff is still like in motion. So I don't want to like say, hey, we're having this big thing come, and then it not come. Especially the coilovers. Everyone wants to hear about the coilovers. I want to hear about the coilovers. Trust me. It's been a pain to get Rev9 to give us any real concrete answers. So because of the coilover incident, I don't want to speak too much on things that are kind of in the works. These, though, I paid for. We are getting lower B3 water pipes, which you need when B6D swapping. If yours is rusty or gross, you would rather have a new one. We're getting new ones. So now when you go buy that cool crossover tube that we already have in the store, brand new, go ahead and get one of these too, because these rust out. This area gets all gross. The O-ring doesn't seal anymore. The outlet, this one is a fresh one. It's already starting to get rusty and gross. I found a supplier willing to make these, and we've paid for them. We ordered them. They're making them right now. So these are coming to the store.
Very cool.
Yes, great news. And from the 3D printed side of things, we have a sunglasses clip coming for the sun visor. That's Festiva shaped. It's adorable, and it holds your sunglasses. We have...
can technically put it in any car you have.
So true.
Just to rock that Festiva vibe.
We have ashtray inserts coming that are modeled off of the very sweet JDM optional ashtray inserts for the 323. So it holds like coins on the other side, a little space to hold things instead of an ashtray. It's like an actual coin holder. It's pretty cool. Those will be 3D printed. We have radio brackets 3D printed. So now you can actually secure your radio properly to the car so it's just flopping around. It'll be way cheaper than buying the big universal kits that you only need like one tiny piece of. Now we're just 3D printing the one tiny piece you need. We are probably going to be sourcing a lot of other common parts from some of our suppliers here soon that might make it even cheaper than Rock Auto. Usually in the past, I've said we don't stock things that you can still buy at like AutoZone because that's just too much inventory. We don't have space to store like brake drums and brake pads and every engine gasket you could think of, and then also like every random wear item you could think of. then recently, Rock Auto seemed to run out of stock of some things, so we're starting to try to think about what can we order now and be ready for that to happen. So we're looking at getting clutch cables made. We're looking at getting speedometer cables made. We are looking at potentially doing bigger stuff like spindles and brake drums and stuff. I have a supplier that's willing to make those for us. It's just big bulky stuff. It costs a lot to ship, and we'd have to store it here. So I would need to know for sure that we have enough interest to cover the cost of that before I dive and sink all of our money into parts that you can still buy in Rock Auto. But we could potentially beat Rock Auto's prices for basically the same quality items, and you'd be supporting us, supporting small business, which would be super cool. Which you guys already are. It's been incredible. The fact that we can do stuff like this full time because of the investment in the community it just blows my mind.
Well, that and the great organization of your incredible wife just making it happen.
My wife has made pretty much all of this happen. I mean, she is CEO of the company. She made it an LLC. She is one that ships at least half of you guys' packages.
Yeah. I ship all the good ones. If you have any issues, it's probably will.
Yeah, probably. But now that I have the time, I hope to be doing more of that on my end. But it's just really cool that we can do that now. It makes the budget tight. It makes like big projects a little harder, but that's all part of it. That's part of being a small business owner, and I am pretty cool with that. I've always said getting money is not super hard. Getting time difficult. So I'd much rather do this and have time to do my own projects. I guess during our fleet update, we didn't really say what each car needs necessarily. I guess I could have done that more.
Got a little bit.
This one, after I fix the injectors, it'll be done for a while. I might autocross it, which is different wheels and tires, but stock class, so I'd leave it alone. The interior plastics are really rotted out from the sun. So today actually in the mail, I got my SEM color chart to match up to see exactly what paint to buy that matches the interior plastics. I found the right color. We're gonna get that ordered. I'm gonna redo all the plastics with paint, sand them down, paint them, texture them. So that's gonna be a bit of a project in its own right, but doable for sure. Beyond that, it just works. I'm gonna leave it alone. The red one we talked about, it needs an alignment, it needs a lower control arm, it needs new tires, it needs the mirror fixed. That's about it for that one. Aqua needs cleaned deeply, then it needs a new engine, and then it needs driven, sure. And the plastics could use a repaint. Since it's got black spray paint on them, I have some extra proper black dye I can use on them, make them a lot nicer. Beyond that, Aqua's pretty much ready to rock. The Sonoma needs some small dents fixed. It needs a replacement grille at some point. It needs all the black trim repainted black. It's supposed to be just like regular black. Somebody used paint in the past, and now the old paint's peeling, which means I have to repaint it. The S10 needs a sliding rear window installed. It needs tuned properly, which means installing a wideband and installing O2 sensors and stuff. It needs a little more suspension work. It needs a little bit of alignment, and then I need to finish putting on the decals. At some point, it needs repainted with better prep work now that I have an idea of how to do it. The RX-8 needs a paint job that's out of my wheelhouse for that car. The Maverick needs lowered, and I think we're looking at getting a fog light kit put on it, but that's about it.
Tire pressure gauge is low.
Sure. Does that mean the alignment shop could actually do that? Most alignment places also do wheels and tires. The yellow car needs a ton of stuff for the B6T swap. So swap itself, then suspension. So there'll be a suspension guide coming out for that. Basically everything else you need to prep for autocross, roll bar, harnesses, fancy seats. Then it's going to get like a nicer interior. It's going to get a cool body kit. I don't want to give away too much, but it's a lot of work going into the yellow car. It's basically going to be half of what V2 is going to be. V2 is a 10-year project. I won't even go into everything it needs. I have a 4-page document on Google Docs, 2 columns, 4 pages.
On this and I'm gonna send it to you later. That'd be great.
The KL, I have new front seats for it. For the Protege, it's got new front seats that need brackets made, installed. It has new struts I need to install. I'd like to find lowering springs just to drop it like 30 mil, nothing crazy, just to make the fitment just that little bit better, but still ride nicely. And then it needs the engine rebuilt, and then it needs like the paint seriously corrected. And honestly, it kind of needs a new hood. The paint's so bad in the hood, you better just find a white Protege hood because they're pretty easy to find. And it needs some exhaust work again with some proper hangers.
A couple good questions in here. 2005 Kia Rio clutch cable for V6T swap? Question mark.
Who said that?
Dragon Healer.
Yeah, but is that Ryle asking that?
Is that something you
Rio parts are actually a little harder to source because it didn't sell very well. Like they continued the Rio in Russia for a while, longer than what we got here in the U.S. But the Pride stuff is actually easier to find due to how common they are with SIPA making them and everything. That being said, most of my clutch cable makers can make custom clutch cables. So it's something I'm looking into is to maybe having them make custom size ones that fit perfectly for B6C swaps, or having them remake the cables that we were making for the hydro to cable conversion for Hydro G series. The only thing is with custom orders, I have to order more. If it's something they already make for other markets, it's a lot cheaper. If it's something I have to like spec to them and then have them make, it's a little more expensive, or I have to order more of them. Like I have to order 1,000. I don't think I'll sell 1,000 B6C clutch cables.
Never
But
know.
you know,
You said that about combination switches a long time ago.
it's true.
So another person said, I got water in the rear corners under the rear lamps in my Festiva. It is rust free. Any ideas?
Yes, taillight gaskets.
Yep.
Most common issue for sure. And we sell those in the store. They're nice laser cut foam. They're sticky, backed, perfect replacement for your taillight gasket. But yeah, between the body and the taillight is a big foam gasket. If you take your taillights off, you'll almost certainly find that the gasket's eroded into just dust and crumbly little hard bits. So yeah, get new taillight gaskets from the store.
Cool. Any other good questions or comments?
Or bad
Anything else
questions.
You guys want to see? Yeah, bad questions are welcome as well.
So YouTube pays me based on viewing hours. I've never been paid, but if we have 4,000 watch hours in a rolling 1-year period, they will start to pay me a few cents, I believe, like maybe $4 a month.
This is when we start the
Yeah. For 4 cents a day, you can support a struggling YouTuber. No, but seriously, we need to reach a certain number of watch hours. So, since this is a live video, it's going to be kind of lengthy. We're at
13 people. We were at 15
how long?
earlier. An hour.
So we're at an hour, and there's 13 people in here. So that's already immediately 13 hours of watch time added to my 1,000 just for y'all being here. So it's really cool. Live videos are a great way to help get some viewership.
Go ahead
And you guys
have your
can.
dogs listen to them later too.
Yes. So viewership is really important right now for us, especially since we're doing the small business thing. Buying things on the store, very important for us right now. The stickers are all $2 right now for the Samet Industries and Festiva store stickers. I think that we used to have them at 1, now they're at 2. But stickers help a ton. That's a lot of, that's basically just profit for us because stickers cost very little to make. So you guys get to show off your support and get stuff in return. We don't do a whole lot of like donation things because I want you guys to be able to have like something to show off for your money instead of just throwing money into nothing, into the air. At least you guys get something for it. So
a lot of people do add tips. There's a little added like, hey, show the Samet some love when you make an order. So
yeah, if you want.
That's pretty cool.
Tipping culture aside, feel free to do that if you're feeling it.
Yeah.
But what's helping us right now a ton is Patreon. So we have a Patreon set up. If you go on there, I think we have 3 tiers. It's like $6. It's like $3, $6, and 15, I want to say. But this year, as a couple years ago, all of our $15 patrons will be getting a new Samet Industry shirt. And we're hoping, now that I have more time to design stuff, we can do more merch type stuff. So Samet Industries merch, especially if you're getting it from Patreon, another great way to support us and help keep the YouTube stuff going. Because right now, YouTube doesn't give me anything back. So everything we do for YouTube, like all the filming, the film equipment's paid for, which is great. So we got the cool microphones, which you guys are hearing now. And we're just filming this off my phone and a gimbal, which is working fantastic. But everything else to do YouTube, it's like the time it takes to actually film every single thing I do and then edit it and then make a thumbnail and then publish that with a description. It's just a lot of work. I'm happy to do it. I love being able to make stuff for the community, especially all the guide videos. I know everybody really appreciates that, and I love that it's getting the views and stuff.
It's the teacher side of him.
Yeah, I suppose so. But every bit helps. So just watching the videos, we have everything in playlist currently. I have every video we've ever made, at least in the some playlist. And on YouTube, you can press play and watch a whole playlist all the way through. It helps a ton with our watch hours. Patreon helps a ton. But yeah, it'd be really cool to start getting something back monetarily, at least for all the time we put into the YouTube stuff.
Mr. Carhole here said something about Focus and EXP parts. So is that Explorer parts? Is there any crossover there? Or?
Unless you meant just 40 XP, which is like a weird little thing.
Focus and EXP parts, so I'm guessing Explorer.
Or the 40 XP.
And then he, I think, made a joke, is my my Festiva clone of Mazda 323.
No, it's a Mazda GLC.
He says, will the Ford Taurus show engine fit in with the right amount of money and parts?
Yeah, you just put it. You can strap it down right behind the back seat and take it anywhere you need. It fits, no problem.
Easy peasy.
Yes, so that's the other thing. At some point, we will be venturing into other platforms, likely Mazda-related platforms. So, like, obviously, we already have a Protege, so it would be pretty easy for me to start doing Protege parts as part of the store. We're looking at doing Miata stuff. The Miata market's really taken off right now. They're getting more to be collectible status, and a lot of people are looking to restore really crappy beat ones, and there's a lot of room to make new parts. Even though there's a lot of people making parts already, there's still room for innovations there. So we're thinking about doing that at some point, like over the next year or so. But for now, definitely focusing more on Festiva stuff than anything. Festiva first. And no matter what platform we may expand into, it will always be Festiva first.
So true. Festiva first. Very cool. Let's see. Custom Festiva shirts on the store? That'd be cool. There was a pretty custom 121 apparel for a Festiva print that good buddy Carhole had done.
And it's still live.
And, yeah, it is. I think it was a little more limited in colors the other day, but awesome prints there.
Yeah, custom stuff, we'll see about that. It's designing stuff like that is tricky. I've never been a great designer of like shirt ideas or like graphic Festiva drawings and stuff. Carhole, who's in the chat, who did the 121 apparel, he's much better at that. He actually did the one I have for my car for me as a gift, and I think it looks awesome. It's one of my favorite designs. So we'll see about that. I have a lot of other stuff I have to get done before I have time to make shirts, but we're also quite willing to hire other people to do such a thing if there's enough interest for it. And obviously if it's something that we can spend the time and money on and make some of that back. It's like, but if it costs me $25 to get a custom shirt made, then we have to pack and ship all that, and now you're looking at like a $35 shirt. Normally when it comes to stuff like that, I would recommend that somebody just go directly to the guy who makes it. Instead of paying me as a middleman, just go find the people that make custom shirts. There's a cool website that actually makes custom Hawaiian shirts. And a few guys on the page have done that now, where you give them a picture of your Festiva, so you get a cool Hawaiian shirt with your Festiva all behind the trees and stuff. That's really fun.
Very cool. What else was on your list of things to talk about? Any other questions from the group? Any Q&A? I know we were thinking about doing the injectors on video as well. I've been bitten by a few mosquitoes and they need to take myself inside, but it'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm probably not good for the injectors. It's been a long day. I've been like in battling traffic all day, running back and forth to Winchester for some errands, and went to a doctor's appointment earlier, and then got back home and decided it'd be a good time to finish the live stuff. So I think it's probably dinner time instead of injector time.
I guess that's fair.
But I might record doing the injectors anyway.
Yeah.
As my good buddy Tom says, content is content. You just gotta film it. But then you also gotta edit it and then post it and make a thumbnail for it.
You probably
So
missed that part. This content, you just gotta film it. Yeah, maybe you need to do, we did what, a crossover with Crew Cab Dart? You need some crossovers with TT Customs.
I should.
That'd be pretty cool. I mean, we kind of did at New Year's, right?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
And we'll have, Ohio Steva content will be basically a crossover, but again, just need to get some of that stuff edited. I think we have 5 videos that are filmed and not edited. Like, not all edited, need edited.
Sure.
And then beyond that, a lot of good stuff coming soon now that
Shoot,
now that we're ready for it.
That Angry Tomato.
It's one of the 5.
Holy cow, that was forever ago at this rate. That money's long gone.
That money?
Yeah, the money I got from it.
Oh, sure.
Sheesh.
This weekend we're doing an AC install, but I don't know if we'll record it because it'd be a bit of a rush job. That'd be another good collab. I'm hoping to get with Bill and do an AC install video. Hoping to get with John and do a carb install video here soon for the carb adapters.
That'd be a fun trip.
A lot of demand recently to see a rear brake video, how to do the rear bearings, rear drums, and adjusters and all that. Work a e-brake cable video into that as well, maybe.
Great question. When's the next podcast coming out?
Next podcast, we should have like ready to go. Heck, let's call it Wednesday.
Here's what happened. I interviewed George so well that there were so many things that Will wanted to like flash a picture of that it took him forever, and then just life happened,
and audio balance issues were kind of tricky.
Yeah, Will really needs to figure out what software will let you do 2 mics on 2 channels.
Well, that we had it figured out. Just we had a bad mic.
Oh, yeah. Live stream AC install even through the rush.
Yeah.
Maybe do that this weekend. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I could be camera person for that. Give me some bug spray and we'll be fine. That could be super cool.
Definitely.
Maybe with an S10 meat built in. Could be cool. Good ideas.
Yeah, I like live streams because A, the interaction, like right now, is really cool.
For sure.
And B, it's really cool to have just something playing in the background for some people. It is harder to come back and edit later, though.
For sure.
But I think, I mean, it's all about what people want to see. I think, for the most part, if I try to do a video that's not like a guide video, it doesn't seem to get a whole lot of views. There's not a whole people just watching me to watch me. Most people are here to watch
like
other things.
Look at you.
I'm too serious on camera.
Why are you so serious, Will? Why so serious?
I don't know. Socially awkward.
Maybe that's why
hard to
better, because he's a little less awkward.
Yeah, interaction helps.
Yeah. If you know him, you know he's way cuter.
Just hours on camera talking to a screen, basically, while under a car covered in rust.
Ooh, Taylor Enterprises thinks he might even come over this weekend to help with the Rush AC install.
That would actually be fantastic.
That would be incredible. If you would like to come down, I'll have your room ready.
Because we were also, there's an S10 meet going on, like, basically right in our backyard. It was like 20 minutes away, and I just got 2 S10s running beautifully. I was like, man, it'd be really cool to go to that, but I can't leave poor Brian here by himself trying to install AC when he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, it's kind of
so to have somebody lend a hand for 2 hours and knows what they're doing would be super cool. And also, I just like seeing Bill.
Bill's a cool cat. Have you ever done a BP 1.8 swap?
No, and I never will.
Dang. Why so serious?
No, no, I don't like BP. And I call it biased or incorrect, but BPs are just like, they're harsh. I see too much stuff breaking. And I think B6Ts are super cool. So at some point, I will be doing a single cam swap. I don't know when. Basically, all my cars already have the engines they're getting assigned to them. We're also doing a Kia engine swap.
Here, time out.
Yeah.
You're telling me each car has an engine assigned to them. In that case, you have 12 cars. You have over 20 engines.
Mm-hmm.
That math is not mathing good.
Okay. Categorically assigned.
Ah.
The Aqua is assigned B6D. It happens to be assigned 4 B6Ds. But B6D nonetheless.
Okay?
So basically, as soon as I have some free space and somebody says, hey, I have the single cam engine and I have this Festiva, can somebody help me swap it? I'll say, yes, bring it over. I will basically do the swap for you. In return, I get to film it all, and they can pay me for it, the pleasure.
That's what he kind of wanted Adam to do with the B6T swap, but then Adam's job became more of a, hey, actually, he brought a carbureted car.
And I was still, I think, doing school, and life got very busy. I was like, I can't do somebody else's project for like 3 months.
Yeah, it just, crap hit the fan, and it just did not happen. So, oh yeah, that was when you like were switched to nights. That was a bad job. So
Yeah.
I hope you're liking your new job. Are you liking your new job so far?
So far, yes. Self-management's still tricky, but it's been really good.
Good.
I need to organize my time. So that, like I said before, even though we've been at the full-time thing for a while, a lot of people might not have noticed the changes or any updates, especially on the channel. Like, hey, 2 weeks now, where's the video? Hello. Because we got to catch up on a lot of other stuff. There's a whole lot of life that got kind of put off due to how busy we've been. And now that we have some free time, we could pay attention to some other parts of life, the not car, the boring parts of life. You know, the stuff that's got nothing to do with cars. Things like health issues or family vacations or seeing people, like, yawn, hello, where the car's at. So now that that's all basically done for a while, time for cars. Time is now. Literally, it's right now. We're live. It's happening right here at the cars.
Are you sure that's not just like a green screen?
Yellow screen?
That looks really good.
Yeah, if it's green screen, can I go this fast? If it turned really blurry just then, that'd be a really good joke.
settle a debate.
Yes.
SOHC, so single overhead cam, B6 or B8?
So in that situation, I would probably I've never owned a B8 car, but I've driven a B8 car. The B8 is fun because it's super torquey. So it's got a really good seat of the pants feel to it. However, it's still a BP block, so it's still long. It's 20 millimeters longer than a B6. So getting all your pulleys to fit, especially if you want to have AC, that gets tricky. There's just not much room in there to have AC with a B8.
Interesting. Yeah, AC is a little bit more and more of a priority, don't you think?
It's nice. We suddenly have like 5 cars working AC. So that's kind of wild.
Yeah, it's really nice. I can't believe you got that aqua fix so fast. That was really cool. That was impressive. Especially because we should have done it sooner. But
The other thing with B8 versus B6 is that B6 you have a lot of options. B8 it's like just the B8 ME. That's it. B6 you've got 8 valve, first gen, second gen. You've got 16 valve. You've got then the option for the first gen to keep a carb on it. So if you're carby and you need a swap done, that's basically your only choice. So, B6 is a little more open, and everything just bolts in. No mounts. You don't need to make any mounts. B8 still requires mount modification.
someone said would love to keep AC. So yeah, if you want to keep AC, you want to go the B60 route probably. That's your
Or
easiest.
single cam B6 would be the easiest.
Yeah.
B60 requires a little more work, but I still prefer it. Some people will tell you the single cam is better for daily duty. I say it depends entirely on how you drive. If all your power is made at 4,000 RPM, and if you hit red line and shift, guess what? Your next shift point, 4,000 RPM. It just works. If you don't drive it like a race car every single day, then the single cam might be better. That's not how I drive, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Brian, whose AC you'll be working on, said AC would be wonderful, especially with a 100-degree heat index all last week. Yeah, you definitely got the rough end there of just how the schedule worked
Got the
out.
rough end, buddy. He's in Festiva heaven. He's 5 miles away from the coolest Festiva place on earth, and a full AC kit is waiting for him. That sounds like a great
Waiting
setup to
for him.
me.
It'd be better if it was set up. Andrew would like you to not forget your non-AC roots. Don't let this fancy new lifestyle.
I've not forgotten. Everybody at the power tour kept asking me, "Oh, I see you still got a compressor on that S10. You put an AC back in there?" And I was like, "No, it's literally just there to act as a pulley. This is not getting AC
It really
ever
needs
again."
AC. I would ride with him a lot more if it had it.
We just need to put
I'm
that
trying to make
sliding
that
back
more
window
tempting
in,
for him. That's not AC, honey.
basically.
Okay, bud. You can relieve.
It's a good thing I'm not wearing a dress.
I thought about that.
I bet.
You can try to reinforce that when you're sweating in it the next time you drive.
I've been sweating in it every day.
Gross.
What do you think I've been doing all day driving around today? Just been like,
It's gonna be
just like
nasty.
sitting on an ice pack or something?
The other problem is that he is a Samet man, and many Samet men struggle with this humidity gene. They just cannot handle an ounce of humidity. So the fact that you guys are in the Midwest is kind of hilarious. Like, you should all be Westerners. Why there are not more desert Samets, I don't understand. Dress on a Ducati? That's what Andrew said.
I would wear a dress on a Ducati.
He sure would. Then that would be fun. Well, friends, I don't know. Any other? What was that? Questions, comments, concerns?
Oh, the S10 also needs new windows. I forgot about that.
Huh?
I see the
Oh,
windows for the
yeah,
S10. It needs
just
those
buy
too.
new windows, like the regular glass.
Oh,
Gotta
good.
tint it first. Just one project after another.
Always.
Honestly, your list didn't seem like a lot of things were super pending, so that's, I don't know about you, but it seemed okay. None of those things were on my list. You know what's on my list, Will?
Dinner.
Nope, try again. Number one car thing that needs done right now?
Number one car thing he's in right now?
That Michelle really wants. Say it with me, chat. Throw it in there. What does Michelle want to see done? Wow. If chat can figure this out before Will, I don't know what I'm going to do with him. He might sleep in the garage.
Huh?
What needs done, Will?
The TPMS sensors.
Thank you. Jeez. If you Any other options for a passenger mirror?
No.
No.
I mean, technically, yes, they make universal ones, but the universal ones screw into your door. Don't screw that up.
Don't screw it up. Why is this deluxe so bad?
You know, it'd be cool to like print some kind of mirror that fits in the stock spot. So I might look into that.
Yeah,
Or
'cause what do
maybe
you got on
maybe
this
I can
guy?
maybe I can see if somebody will make Pride mirrors.
Maybe.
There were so for a while in Korea there was a company making aftermarket ones. I have a set here that are technically aftermarket Korean mirrors.
Maybe
Like-
we can get that on the store.
That company's no longer in business because that was like back in the like 01 era.
Sure.
But somebody still might. That'd be a cool thing to find because yeah, GL mirrors are getting hard to find. And that's the only way you get a manual passenger mirrors from a GL. Anything else would be a power mirror. And you have to have the whole set then to look right.
Cool. Great question, though. Cool. Well, if there's no other pending questions, comments, or concerns, don't forget to, do all the things. Like, subscribe,
Check out our Patreon,
check out our Patreon.
patreon.com/Samet Industries.
I think it might even be a link to our YouTube page.
It might be. Check out the Festiva store. Check out any new items on there. Get your Festiva decals. Get your Samet Industries decals. Get your Festiva store decals.
Get them all.
Get yourself some nice miscellaneous hardware.
Another good question in the chat. Is there a way to use an electric motor to open and close the rear windows?
Yes, there is.
Is there?
Yes. So I should probably do it to one of these just to have a video on it.
Definitely.
But yeah, go to the junkyard basically in any, especially earlier models like 04, 03 era, like Grand Caravan, Honda Odyssey, basically any minivan that has electrically operated rear vent windows, you can, as long as you're willing to drill some new holes, I'd recommend using like rib nuts, doing it professionally. But yes, you can make basically any standard 12-volt rear window opener work. So find a minivan, take the motors and half the wiring harness from one of them, find yourself a universal power mirror switch kit. They're available on Amazon and eBay all the time. Basically, it comes with 2 switches that have lights on them. It comes with all the wiring harness you need. All you have to do is apply power. Like go and tap a fuse in your fuse box and install switches in your door card, and it takes care of the rest. You don't need to figure out like the weird wiring that switches use. Then run the 2 power wires to the opener, the actual motors, mount the motors in the car so that they sit flush and tight when the windows close, and then however they open, just how far they open, you don't really get to pick that, and there you go. Electric pop-out windows.
That's very cool. So it sounds like that's something we should maybe hunt for during Harvestiva.
Yeah, that'd be it.
We go to this great U-Pull.
It would be a really cool thing to pull.
They've got really good prices there. So we always, heck, I think last year we had groups going out 2 days in a row. So,
matter of fact, it'd be cool to check to see if any of the Kia minivans have one that just bolts in.
Yeah.
Because the bolt pattern for our windows was shared by a lot of Kias and Mazdas of that era.
Wow. Sounds like Bill's coming over this weekend.
Heck yeah.
Hip hip
Love to
hooray.
Anybody else wants to come over? Now that I work at home full time, text me. We'll hang out. It'd be cool. It'll be fun. Just have different fans of the channel / different Festiva group members just come hang out for a day.
Sure.
Come hold the camera for an hour.
Why not?
Be fun.
Totally.
They can be on the podcast.
Even better.
Oh, got it.
Very cool.
The mosquito.
So lots coming up, lots to do. But now we have a little more time to do it.
So yeah, so tonight, go to your TV, put the Samet Industries playlist on repeat, turn the volume down, and just let her run.
Let it run.
Just let it eat, bud.
Yeah, I think your cats will really enjoy it. Your dogs will definitely.
My cat
enjoy it.
legitimately loves when people on the phone, like hearing voices through the phone. She just thinks that's the coolest thing. We'll come running. If you put something on
True.
speakerphone, Salem would love to watch Samet Industries for 7 hours straight.
Yeah, for sure. We should start hooking her up. Cool. We'll go ahead and give us our handy dandy sign off, and we'll all be hopefully seeing y'all soon.
Oh,
Oh man.
I'm feeling it, buddy. Well, as always, thank you guys so much for joining us, and we hope to see you next time. See ya.
Dun, 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 dun.
Is it still alive?
Bum, bum,
Are we doing the outro?
bum, 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 bum.